Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dexter and I welcome you back to the Mango Grove for your daily Bitcoin and Chainlink analysis video. I'm really tired. I just got back from the gym. We have a lot to talk about. Bitcoin doing things, Chainlink doing things, everything doing things. Let's get started over here with Bitcoin on the 4 hour. And the reason I'm starting with the 4 hour is because this is the wrong chart. Let me switch on over to, I believe, all right, there we go. Bitcoin on Coinbase on the 4 hour chart. I was looking at this range over here. I did want to talk about it on yesterday's video. In fact, I did have the thumbnail ready and everything, but hey, I just couldn't get the video out. I got busy with something else. Krisha had to take over, and I'm not sure if Krisha talked about this range or not. I do know that she had a more I don't want to say negative outlook, but she wasn't liking price action. Me, on the other hand, I was neutral. I was a little biased, of course, because we do have our long position, and we are looking rather for a move to around these levels, around here 9,100-ish. I do have a take profit very close to where price is, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But I was really liking what was happening over here, right? We were putting in higher lows on the 4 hour, and all that we needed to do was have that slight tick over 8,974, and we would have that up thrust towards the upside, right? Because we would have essentially broken the 4 hour downtrend very convincingly, just like we talked about in the last video I did with you guys. More importantly, guys, we also had a very nice signal on the 4 hour Mango Vine right over here, right? Pretty much calling the bottom right on this move. Now again, I did not know. I just think one of my bids just hit on Bitcoin. Just got an alert for that. Let me just check that out. Yeah, I did get filled on one of my bids at the very least. I'm not sure if the second bid got filled. I will check that out right after this video. And that's a little bit unfortunate, because I did want to talk about a little bit on trade management in case my bids did not get filled. But hey, I guess we can leave that for another video. Now going back on over to the Coinbase chart, I did want to talk about how all of this was forming a story across different time frames, right? So we did have the Mango Vine on the 4 hour pretty much calling the bottom yet again. If you guys do have access to the Mango Vine, please keep an eye on the 4 hour. This has been nailing bottoms and tops very well. 4 hour, 12 hour, really good. But you guys know that I would never play this in isolation, right? And that's what I mean by a very nice story was developing across multiple time frames. So let's go ahead and discuss that story. Number one, on the 4 hour, we did have the Vine saying, hey, you know what, this downtrend may be coming to an end. We may be seeing a bounce very soon. But would that be enough for us to take a trade off? No, of course not. On the 12 hour, we did have the 12 hour, which has been extremely powerful and accurate over the past many months now, giving us a buy signal too, telling us, hey, you want to accumulate your position perhaps in this range over here. Then the daily as well, finally giving us that call and telling us, hey, you know what, maybe you want to start accumulating for a longer trend trade. We had the 4 hour, we had the 12 hour as well as the daily. But more importantly, guys, we also had an opportunity on the 1 hour, flipping green after being red for a while, right after this move over here to the top of the range, and giving us the buy signal right over here around 8,650-ish, 8,700, right? And that, if you guys have access to the Vine, you would have noticed had confluence with the 4 hour 21 EMA 10 SMA test that we talked about in the last video that I did with you guys, where even we added to our position, right? If you guys do remember, what we did was we essentially took profits at the top of the range over here, and then we repositioned not the entire position but only a bit over here, because I was still sticking to my rules. I'm still scaling out my trade, by the way, even though we are developing into a very bullish case. I'm still scaling out of my trade, and I'll talk about why in a bit. I just want to talk about the story developing across multiple time frames. So we had the 4 hour telling us, hey, you know what, we may see a bounce very soon, and the 4 hour has been very good at calling that. Then we had the 12 hour telling us, hey, you may want to accumulate for a long-term trade or a trend trade. The daily telling us, hey, you may want to do that as well. And then the 1 hour too, which has a very good accuracy, rather a very good win rate on the Mango Vine. So that's what I mean by looking at it holistically, guys. On the other front, we also had, if you guys were playing the weekly levels, you could have played it off this weekly horizontal over here at 8,400. Now, You might be asking, Sean, if there's such a bull case, why are you scaling out of your position? And put simply, it comes down to me following my plan. And my plan is to wait for this weekly to close, get that confidence. If we close about 8,700-ish, I will be looking to get back my entire position, or at least most of it, and ride the rest of the trade if the market gives me that opportunity. Now, keep in mind, I'm not getting out of my entire position as I do. I will still have a position to ride in case Bitcoin keeps going up from here and has a crazy move. You guys know how we do it in Mango. We always leave a bit in for a potential crazy move. We never ever try to get cute and try to time every single top and bottom, right? Now, again, for those of you who have not been following or just tuning in, why am I getting out of my position is because my thesis was based off this entire blue box territory over here. It's not on Coinbase, I do believe it's on Bitstamp. Yep, this blue box territory over here. We took our trade right off. We were pretty much scaling in between this key zone over here around 8,600 to 8,400-ish, but we got an average buy of, let's say, 8,500, right? I was looking for a bounce and close above the weekly 21 EMA. Okay, I was hoping for this candle over here to close above the weekly 21 EMA. So this was my thesis. My thesis was that we set in a weekly high or low over here, which is actually turning out to be the case right now. So far, so good. But I also was looking for a close above the weekly 21 EMA. We are bouncing off the weekly Tenkin, which is what we were looking for, right? Apologies, did I say I was looking for a bounce off the weekly 21? Okay, no. I was looking for a bounce off the weekly Tenkin, this blue line over here, and then a close above the weekly 21 EMA. I was hunting for a higher low on the weekly time frame of this blue line over here. It does seem like we may actually go ahead and do that. That may end up being true. However, what I did not want to see was a close underneath the weekly 21 EMA. I said, would that be a death sentence? No, it would not be a death sentence. It would just make me lose a little bit of confidence in my trade, and coupled with the fact that we had the whole macro scare with the coronavirus and traditional markets, etc., I wanted to take some risk off the table. I stuck to my plan, and I am still sticking to my plan, and the plan was to take profits off the weekly 21 EMA if we did bounce back there. I did that. Took some off again at the 10 SMA. I did that. When we got that 4-hour rejection of that range, let's go back to right over here, we repositioned off the test of the 4-hour 21 EMA and 10 SMA. Sat through the rest of it. As long as we were holding the Tenkin, I was completely fine. If we closed underneath over here, I would have got out of my entire position, taken my profits, and just waited for Bitcoin to develop itself. But since we were holding this Tenkin over here, I held the rest of my position, and now just hit the key zone, exactly what we talked about in the previous video, right? Go ahead and watch, guys, my last 3 or so videos just to see how my mindset was developing, right? You guys are going to see that, hey, maybe Sean misses out on this entire move that is yet to come, because I won't be missing out on the entire move, because I still have I will be having a bit of my position going forward, but it won't end up being as big of a win as I would be looking for right now. Even though the move goes my way, it would look like I got kicked out of my position and I got bear trapped, and hey, this is going to end up being a very, very nice bear trap. I do stand by what I was saying. I think Krisha was disagreeing with me on this being a bear trap. I'm not sure what she discussed in the last video. Let me go ahead and hide the horizontals, but I was looking at this and I was like, this is beginning to look like a bear trap, right? We close underneath the key zone, close under the 200 moving average, and I do believe the 200 exponential moving average was right there too. Close underneath all of it, and yeah, we closed underneath all of it right over here, guys. So the steel EMA over here is the 200 exponential moving average. The red line over here is the daily key zone. The thick brown line over here is the daily 200 moving average. Closed under all three, like, and one by one, and we did not see follow through either, right? And this kind of situation to me is a complete bear trap, because you pretty much strongly close over all of those levels in one fell swoop right after. We were looking at the monthly levels too, and everything is looking pretty healthy now, because we have now officially broken the daily downtrend. All right, with this move over here, we have broken the daily downtrend. We have not started trending upwards just yet. If you guys are a little bit confused on that, please go ahead and watch my module on the advanced trend analysis to get better clarity. I really recommend you guys do that. Get a full understanding, conceptual understanding, where it comes to you intuitively of the difference between an uptrend, a downtrend, a break-in trend, trendless environment, etc. Okay, so going back to what we were talking about on the daily over here, we are seeing some rejection of this daily 21 EMA. We've not made our way all the way up over there just yet. Do we make our way there? I do think we do. Test 9,150-ish. But the fact that the 4-hour key zone is right over here, it would be considered a test either way. Even if we don't get there all the way up over here, the 200 EMA is right over here, right? So this is the 200 EMA, the teal EMA. Maybe we do get there. Maybe we do get there, test the daily 21 EMA, and the question is, what do we see after that? What I would be looking for, okay, what I'd be looking for now, guys, is to give us a higher low somewhere over here. The bulls would be looking for something like this, okay? And hey, this was actually the thumbnail that I drew yesterday, and it's actually coming to fruition now if it pans out that way. Let's see. It'll be interesting to see if price action actually develops that way. Would I be looking for Bitcoin to simply shoot up straight over here? I wouldn't be putting money on that. No, I wouldn't, which is why I am actually looking to take more profits in this level. If we do shoot up somewhere around here, I will be taking a little bit more off, and then I'll be looking to reposition the rest over here if we do come down, okay, somewhere around here at around 8,900. Perhaps the 10 SMA, if it starts curling towards the upside, I'll be looking for the slope on the 10 SMA to start going towards this side over here, and the 21 EMA to start flattening instead of having the slope towards the downside. Okay, that's what I'll be looking for when we start getting all those pieces put in place, as well as the weekly closing over the weekly 21 EMA sitting at around 8,750. That's when I'll be looking for those big bullish moves again. Remember, guys, across time frames now, the story is developing very, very nicely, and the mango vine calling it on the 12-hour, the daily, the 4-hour, the 1-hour very, very well. Everything is being put in place now. The daily downtrend has been broken. Looking for a daily uptrend to be starting next. I am liking what I'm seeing over here. Bitcoin looking good, but we are not out of the water just yet. Okay, there are still things that could go wrong. So what needs to go wrong for the bears to get confidence back? Let's start with where the bears, if I was a bear, where would I have lost confidence? It was right over here, guys, where we took out this wick at around 8,427, and we did not see that follow through. What we saw instead was price action simply re-bottom right up to the top of the range over here, getting all the way up to 8,924. Right after that, the bears weren't convincing enough at all. They weren't able to defend the bulls putting in a 4-hour higher low. So the bulls put in a 4-hour higher low right over here around 8,650-ish, and now seeing continuation to the upside, breaking the daily downtrend. So if I were a bear right now, I'd be sweating. Okay, I'd be sweating. Now, the bulls are feeling really confident somewhere around these levels. If I were a bull, where do I lose confidence? Well, if we break back into this range around 8,913, or if we close this daily underneath there, it would not look good at all. But that would still not be enough for the bears. We would just be in a more trendless environment at that point, where we don't have a daily uptrend, nor us having a daily downtrend. For the bears to win their confidence back, I would be looking for them to close underneath 8,500. If they close underneath 8,500, we'd be looking towards targets of first around 8,200, and then perhaps all the way down to 7,700. Okay, if the bears do that though, right now the bulls have the advantage. They are bouncing off major weekly support at around 8,450-ish, and if they close this week above 8,750, and they're currently sitting more than $400 above that level, so if they manage to do that by the end of the week, which is just on Sunday now, 3 more days, hey, the bulls are going to have basically won back the driver's seat, in my opinion, and I'd be looking to be buying a daily higher low. Perhaps I try for a trade in the next couple of days if we do get that retest to around 8,800-ish, and then a close about 8,922. So if I were looking to be re-entering some of my position, I'd be looking for price to do something like this and then like that, right? Again, very, very similar to the thumbnail I drew yesterday. Perhaps I just go ahead and use the thumbnail I made yesterday, because price is pretty much doing exactly that. So yeah, This is going to be very interesting to see how it develops. I'll be looking towards the weekly levels, guys. For the weekly, I'll be looking for 8,000. Switch on the BitMEX chart. These horizontals is what I'm playing on the weekly level. 8,750-ish is where I'll be looking for price to close this week. If you do that, I'll be looking to buy the retest of that level. The next level above that is around 9,539. If we close the week underneath 8,750, I'll be looking for a move all the way down to 7,500, 7,700, right? All the way down over here. So this is a very, very important week. How this closes is going to dictate the rest of the month, pretty much. The rest of the month, and perhaps the months after that as well. Of course, I want Bitcoin to close bullish. Things are just better when everybody is feeling happy and bullish. And hey, if we do close over here, a retest to 8,750, in my opinion, should be a buy. I'm not a financial advisor, and I'll be looking for a move all the way up to 9,560 after that. Let's go ahead and look at the oscillators. The oscillators were about to, this got defended right over here. You can see that these were about to cross bearish. If they did get the cross at the top of the range over here, would not be the best look, but seeing that defense widening up again, and hey, this may actually turn out to be more bullish in the weeks to come. RSI looking healthy, nothing to be said over there. Let's go ahead and look at the 12-hour, and there you go, the 12-hour RSI, the 12-hour bullish divergence on the RSI that we were postulating a few days ago is taking shape right now. You're seeing that bullish divergence play out, and hey, this is pretty much it. This was the move I was looking for. We may see a pullback somewhere around here, 9,130-ish. Yeah, I would not be too surprised at all if we do see a pullback somewhere around here. Probably does line up with the 12-hour Tenkin, and yep, right over there. So a test of the Tenkin and then close above the 21 EMA would be very, very healthy. Do we need to close above the 21 EMA? I wouldn't say so. In fact, let's see how this develops. Either way, this is looking really, really good. That's Bitcoin for you guys. Let's switch on over to Chainlink. I'll do a quick recap again on Bitcoin. What am I looking for? I'm looking for basically a close above the weekly 21 EMA. If we close above the weekly 10 SMA, even better. Bitcoin looking really healthy over here. Did have some trappy action on the daily, also it lined up really well with the trap on the month as well, right? Basically putting in this bearish candle over here, having your low at around 8,438, and then taking out that low almost the very next day on the open of the brand new month, and then just seeing continuation to the upside, right? And you go on over to the daily now and you look at the same thing. What does that look like to you? It looks like a liquidity hunt. It looks like this is a beautiful trap, a very beautiful trap. And I did talk about how, hey, if this actually pans out, I would be part of that trap, right? Yes, I did not sell over here. If you did see that follow through, I perhaps may have, but in that case, it wouldn't be a trap. I woke up next morning and I started scaling out of my position because of that, because hey, following my thesis, following my rules, and regardless, it was a trap, and I'm part of that trap, and it's completely fine, guys. You shouldn't be trying to avoid traps, because when you try to be too smart and avoid a trap, it's going to be that one fine day where it's not a trap and just keeps going down, and you're too stubborn saying, hey, it's a trap. No, I'm not going to fall for it. Yeah, well, guess what? Your account balance has just fallen to zero. All right, it's not worth it. All right, look at this, guys. Because I am willing to get trapped, I'm getting out of my position in profits, right? And in the long run, these habits are what will reward me to do the right thing constantly, and I will avoid those situations where I'm sitting through a huge down move because I think I'm smarter than the market, and instead of getting an opportunity to reposition here at 7,700, 7,500, I got my account liquidated instead. So again, sorry for the ramble, sorry for the lecture, but I hope you guys understand what I mean by it's completely fine to get trapped out of your position. It's okay to buy back higher. It's okay if the market goes on without you. Market is full of opportunities as long as you have a account balance to capitalize on those opportunities. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk about Chainlink. We will start with Chainlink Bitcoin, Chainlink on the BTC pairing, and then move on to Chainlink USD. And man, so strong, bouncing off that weekly Tenkin right over here. This major ascending triangle that we talked about more than a month ago, and hey, have we met the measured move of that ascending triangle? What do you know, guys? We actually did. If you guys do remember when we drew this right over here, okay, so the most beautiful thing about this entire formation, you guys know I don't play formations much unless it's Chainlink, right? Chainlink is so structured in everything it does. It had a beautiful ascending triangle, rising wedge, or however you want to call it, within which was a cup and handle, within which was a symmetrical triangle as well. You could go ahead and find it all, play Where's Waldo with patterns on Chainlink. It is a beautiful chart, breaking on out to the upside, giving us the retest of that ascending triangle, and then meeting the measured move. We drew this measured move, guys, all the way somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, it was on the 13th of Jan. It took a while to play out. How many days? It took a good 49 days to play out, but it played out. And we said, hey, Chainlink may be having a good 100% move at the very least, and it freaking did it. It freaking did it. It actually overshot a little bit, right? We had a target for around 5,586, so let's say 56,000 Satoshi, and that's pretty much where we got. We got to 56,800 Satoshi. Chainlink, what a beast, what a beast. Now what? What's the question? Do we keep going up or do we keep going down? Let's switch on over to the lower time frames, and by lower I'm talking about the daily first. And this right over here is not the healthiest of looks, seeing that sell off right after hitting a target, right? So you're seeing this confluence in these measured moves playing out so perfectly. Right over here too, guys, I'm not sure if you can see it, but we had a measured move for this formation, this cup and handle, right? Let me clear out the mango ribbon, make things easier for you guys to see. This cup and handle that we're looking for, we had a measured move right over here to 38,958 Satoshi, and guess what? That's where we came, that's where we saw that resistance, that's when we tested, that's when we got the first test of that weekly ascending triangle. And if you guys do remember, in the duo video that Krisha and I did, we were discussing as to whether a second retest would be a buy opportunity or not, because usually people don't like the second retest, right? I am not one of those people. I think a level is a level until it is broken, and in fact this time around it was a bit different. It was even stronger, because yes, this does look like a second retest on a daily level, but on the weekly it is simply the first retest, right? Which is why it's so important, guys, to zoom out, look at the higher time frames, because you'll get a clearer picture of what's going on, and sometimes some great opportunities. So yeah, Link looking really good on, well, meeting its measured move, right? There's not much to be said. Right now, how does this look? Not the best look over here. You're seeing that sell off right after meeting its measured move, similar to this, right? Similar to this. We saw it meet its measured move, and it closed right underneath its measured move, coming and giving us a retest, and then seeing the continuation. So what would I be looking for Chainlink to do? One of two things. The more aggressive thing for Chainlink to do is to close somewhere over there, and then have continuation towards the upside. If it takes out this wick over here, guys, of around 51,880 Satoshi, then I'll be looking for further downside, and I'll be looking for a retest of these levels over here around 48,000 Satoshi. Now, let's go ahead and see if that actually lines up with any daily levels, and the 10 SMA may come right up there on that move, right? So when we do have that move towards the downside, if we get that move, so essentially if we either wick underneath 51,827 Satoshi, or if we close underneath this horizontal over here, then I'll be looking for this move to 48,000 Satoshi, and I'm looking for that to line up with the 10 SMA as well. Essentially what I'm saying is the first test of the 10 SMA in the next day or so would likely be a buy opportunity, and then we'll be looking for further trend continuation or not, depending on what price action does. Looking at the 4 hour now, let's see what the 4 hour is saying. This actually doesn't look too bad at all. We do have support over here at the 21 EMA and Tenkin. That's likely going to be a buy on first pass. Would I be looking to buy that? No, likely not. I would be looking to buy Chainlink on the higher levels, the higher time frames. At the very least, I'd be looking towards the 12 hour, and that's coming up to these horizontals over here, lining up with the 10 SMA at around 49,587 Satoshi. To me though, the buy is going to be on the daily 10 SMA. If we do get that opportunity to buy somewhere around this level, that's what I'd be looking towards. But for now, let's just see how this progresses, because the way Chainlink has been behaving, it looks like we may simply see it get accumulated on around these levels over here and see further continuation. Would not be very surprised at all, because even though the daily looks like this, the weekly looks like this, and this looks completely fine. If the weekly there's not much TA to be done over here, guys. This just looks like it wants to keep going up. Like I said in my previous video, Chainlink wants to go up. That's what it looks like. It wants to go up, and that's what it's doing. It's going up, right? It's a very bullish chart, and all you do is play the trend, guys. If you're in the trend, you play the trend. Don't get cute with it, okay? Let's go ahead and look at Link USD on the weekly, hitting a horizontal, making a higher high right over here. I think it did this a couple of days ago though. No, this was done recently. This was done I think a day or so ago, where Chainlink actually taking out the highs over here. These this double top over here completely annihilated now, making a new high, looking really strong. Wow, just simply wow, guys. Let's go ahead and look at those lower time frames. By low, I'm talking about daily. Seeing that resistance right now against this yellow line that we drew a few days ago now. If we can close above this, I'm going to be looking for, there's no TA to be had after that, at least $5.10, but I think after that it's just a blue sky breakout. You just play the trend. After that it's just going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up. Not much to be said. This is looking really good. The fact that Bitcoin is looking good too is helping Chainlink even more. If we break above this horizontal right over here, again, this is the major, even a 4-hour candle close above $4.92 is going to have this propel towards the upside. 2 4-hour candle closes, and for sure it's going to be a very good buy. Again, I'm not your financial advisor. This is just looking so good, man. We could say that there is a measured move to be had off the structure over here. Okay, now again, a lot of people will disagree with me doing it this way, and I'm not sure what Krisha's thoughts are, but I do it this way and it works out. You guys have been seeing how it works out. And $6.40. Okay, let's go ahead and see if this pans out. $6.40 if we close I would say 2 4-hour candles or a 12-hour candle above the zone over here. Perhaps we can shoot for $6.40. Okay, we'll take it one step at a time, guys. Chainlink has been extremely bullish shot, giving us the move that we are looking for, right? That 100% move that we are looking for, all the way up to 56,000 Satoshi, getting up there. I cannot believe it. Actually made it. Took a while, but it did it. Chainlink really strong. Bitcoin looking strong too. Looking for these weekly closes on Bitcoin and Chainlink. If Chainlink can close around the levels it is at, I'm going to be looking for further upside for sure. If Bitcoin closes at the level it is at, I'll be looking to buy a retest of the weekly 21 EMA and look for further upside. So everything looking really good, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what video you want me to cover next. I'm thinking of doing Ethereum. Is that what you guys want? If not, comment down below as to what coin you guys want me to cover. I will see you guys in the next video. My name is Sean Dexter. Throw a like, throw a subscribe. See you soon.